Eric. Thank you. Well, the Mellon Foundation awarded Rhodes College a $500,000 grant to expand and enrich its innovative liberal arts in prison program. And to learn more about that program, I'm joined today by the founder and director, Dr. Stephen Haynes. Welcome. Good to have you with us.
Thank you, Kim. So good to be here.
Well, first of all, I understand this all started nearly 10 years ago with a weekly great books reading group at the Women's Therapeutic Residential Center.
It did, and this happened because a friend of mine in Nashville who does similar work reached out to see if anybody in West Tennessee was doing this sort of work.
Right.
Women at the Mark Luttrell Corrections Center were really interested in being involved with what he was doing in Nashville. But since they didn't have internet, they needed a sort of in-person sort of mediator. I found out nobody was doing this work, not only West Tennessee, but really for anywhere about 200 miles around.
Wow.
So I felt sort of called to explore it more, and 2016 I was able to meet with staff of the Tennessee Department of Correction. They asked that I come into the facility and start some sort of reading group that represented what we do at Rhodes well. Which for us is teaching humanities.
Right.
That we've had a thing called the Search program going on for about 90 years. I offered to start that, and they said, that's great, but we're moving to Henning. So I consulted my map. I guess it was back then, it was a map, an atlas.
Right.
And realized Henning was about an hour and a half north of here, and so it wasn't what I had in mind originally. But as it turned out, the Tennessee Department of Correction was trying to put together the largest women's prison in the state that would have a lot of rehabilitative programs and that would be sort of gender responsive in its treatment. So it's really the perfect place for us to sort of get going with this program.
I was going to ask you, what's the difference in how you started and what you have going now today? It's a big difference, isn't it?
It's a big difference. So we started with this reading group weekly, and then it became clear pretty quickly that what the women really wanted was a 4-credit program. And so we were trying to figure out how we as a small college could stand that up, and the best option for us was a certificate program, a 2-year certificate program, which we called the Certificate of Liberal Arts. So it's a 4-semester program, and we read great texts from throughout history. We start with Homer and go all the way to Toni Morrison.
Wow. And
over 2 years, if students persist and finish, they get a Certificate of Liberal Arts from Rhodes. And then in 2020, Dyersburg State Community College started offering a AA degree at the prison.
Okay.
And we started to collaborate with them. Students took some of our classes. That is a distance program, online program. So they took classes with us in person and did distance with Dyersburg, and we collaborated. And then we had a lot of students who have now graduated from Dyersburg State who are asking, well, what's the next thing? Can we get a BA degree? And there are no options, very few options in the state. So for the last 2 years, Rhodes has been trying to find a way to establish a BA in Liberal Studies at the prison, at the Women's Therapeutic Residential Center, that will build on our certificate program and also the AA program from Dyersburg State. And we got approval from the faculty in November. We found out shortly after that the proposal we had made to the Mellon Foundation was approved, and it's going to allow us to fund this program for 3 years, which will start next summer.
Wonderful. I can just imagine how this program could probably change the lives of some of these incarcerated individuals. Have you seen any, I suppose you have seen some truly incredible stories.
It is, and for a lot of them, it's not a form of education they ever really considered, they ever thought was for them, and so they come into it a little shy, a little uncertain. And it's not for everybody, but for those who really respond to it, it is a profound sort of opening of their intellectual horizons and their sense of what's possible for them. And if they get through a couple of semesters, they start saying, this is the most important thing that I'm doing. Some of them, even when they're released, they want to stay there until they finish their certificate. So I've seen some real profound changes and growing sense of what's possible for them educationally and what they want to do when they get out, the kind of person that they want to be.
Right. What would you like to see for, I mean, you've got this big expansion coming. What would you like to see for the future of this program? Yeah,
so I'd like to see us get to our first graduating class. This is a 4-year program, so that would be in 2030. So I hope to hang on till then. I'm a little close to retirement, but hopefully I'll see that. And then expand to the men's side of the prison if we can. There's already some talk about that. And the thing that Mellon is going to allow us to do is sort of seed the model that we've developed at Rhodes to other schools, other colleges in Tennessee and throughout the South. Because colleges like Rhodes that are relatively small and have limited faculty and limited resources, it's not possible to just go in and set up a BA program, out of the blue. And so it really is a process. For us, it's been 9 years. It doesn't have to be that long, but it's really a building process, and hope to spread that model to other places like Rhodes.
Right. And this kind of a program in prison is a way for these inmates also to come out feeling like something other than just a released inmate.
It is. It gives them, yes, it gives them some sort of practical options to continue their education or show a certificate they've earned. But it also gives them a sense of what's possible for them, and they don't need to go back. Recidivism rates are unbelievably high, up to 40–50%. The one program that's been demonstrated time and time again to reduce recidivism is education. And so that's the business we're in. It's part of the business we're in, trying to keep people from going back once they get out.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming in and sharing with our audience today about this program. It's a fascinating program.
Thank you.
I'd love to see it in action sometime.
Thanks. Great.
All right. Again, Dr. Stephen Haynes with the Rhodes College what is it called again?
Liberal
Arts in Prison. I'm sorry, literacy. Anyway, liberal arts in prison. Thanks again.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Kim.
Well, coming up after.